Semi-pro. For me to be as harsh as possible, this image is as dull as I can imagine it possibly being. Anyway. Okay. Okay, this one... I really can't stop looking at that earring. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Right, okay, I would employ you straight away. Okay, hi everyone. In this video, it's another photo critique. This one is from John Holm. And he says, "Hi Dom, I've been shooting digital for 4 years. I started way back out in the 70s. That's more than 4 years ago. Shooting digital 4 years, but you started doing photography in the 70s. Shooting with a Zenith. A Zenith, that's older than me. And also Leica. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, with a renewed interest in photography due to digital, I am now at a stage as to think of going semi-pro. Semi-pro. Okay. Having done a few commissions for weddings and portrait, I need some severe guidance. I've attached 5 images for you to critique as harshly as you wish. You also have permission to use these shots in whatever manner you think fit. Right, okay. I'm using an Olympus E410 and a few kit lenses, including the 35mm macro. Okay, 35mm macro, and that will be like a 70 macro or something, so that's fine. I will be in the future upgrading from 4/3 to full frame. That's a big jump. And investing in considerable amount of glass in money. Considerable amount of money in glass. I feel that I have got the best out of my Olympus and wanting more. Okay. Right, okay, if you're going to go, say you're semi-pro, I'm going to go at you here. Okay, so first one you've called is Claire. Let's get this shot up. Okay, so this one's Claire. This was shot at my local camera club, Portrait Night. And you shot f8 and 125th of a second. The idea was to try something a little different, i.e. not looking into the lens and a tight crop. Okay. Yeah, it's Claire. Okay, how can I critique it? Lighting is fine, and you've just said exactly what you've got in the picture. So you wanted her to be looking away from the camera, and you've done quite a tight crop. So yeah, that's you've done exactly what you were looking for. In terms of critiquing this, what do I say? Background's a bit dull. Fuck, what do I say? But you know what? I'm gonna right. Okay, you want severe harshness. Okay, first of all, this may have benefited from black and white. 2, the background really just looks like a dull grey nothingness. It's not totally white. It's not a dramatic grey, and it's not black. So you could work with the colours in the background. Like her skin tones and all that could definitely do with some touching up, and also the position that she's got her eyes makes her eye that's closest to me look a little bit wonky. I don't like the fact how there's virtually no shadows on a lady like this. A lady like this with no shadows kind of makes her have a wider face. Here, what a person with a slightly wider face would really benefit is sort of modelling shadows, where you can actually see the shadows in the cheekbones and stuff like that. Bringing her hair into her top has actually just made her shoulders look massive. This crop that you've done here just makes it look like that shoulder just goes on forever, and this one is just goes on and on and on. It doesn't look like the top of a sculpted body where you can see the collarbones and stuff like that. Her mood if there was some interaction with the camera where she had this kind of look in her face where she's kind of giving a bit of a cheeky smile kind of thing at the same time, but there's no interaction with the camera, there's no kind of story going on here. This really just looks like a woman in a camera club, portrait night, and somebody set up all the lighting and nobody's really taken any creative forethought into getting the shot. This is the kind of stuff which you definitely get if you were shooting like a high school portrait thing, you know, where people just come along and get their photos done. It's absolutely fine, there's nothing wrong with it in any way, but I would, if you want me to be harsh with you, and if you're thinking going semi-pro, you've got to be able to show that you can take photos which are better than the average person that's just taking photos at a camera club night. So that's exactly what you've done here. I would love to have seen some like work with the shadows, maybe lighting only half the face, maybe doing something a bit more with the jewellery. She's even got a dress on as well. Let's see where that goes and, you know, how that helps highlight any features that are of importance to her, whether it's her blue eyes or her red lips or her small nose. I don't know, but I can't see it there. So for me to be as harsh as possible, this image is as dull as I can imagine it possibly being. Her looking off the camera, I kind of want a connection with her. Here it just looks like you or somebody else in the room. You did say you wanted me to be harsh. Okay, so next one. Next one is Courtney. Okay, so with this shot here, let's see if I can zoom it. Okay, yeah, that's it zoomed in. Yeah, again, fine. The hand on cheek, it looks like you've done quite well. It doesn't look like she's bored. She's got a smile straight to the camera. That looks good. Is that the whole image? Yeah, that's the whole image. The background is a bit too obvious. If you're using Lightroom, I'd use the kind of bring the sharpening and the clarity right down and just brush over all the background, because the background's the least interesting thing there, and it looks like you've not used paper. Don't know what it is you've used, but either have the model a little bit further away from the back of the wall using a shallower depth of field so that's more blurred out, or something here. Okay, to be as harsh as possible again, okay, this looks really old-fashioned. Not her clothes, but this kind of lying on... Is that like a shag pile carpet, what have you said here? In a small studio spare room using a 2-light and a soft blanket. That again, high school portrait studio stuff, that's exactly what it is. But again, if you're wanting to be a semi-pro, if all you want to be as a semi-pro is a guy that goes to like shopping malls and takes pictures of people like this, that's fine. But for my advice, I would say if you're sending in a portfolio of your stuff which you think is at the level for you to becoming semi-pro, I need to see stuff where it's not just the 2-light setup where it's nice and soft lighting. I want to see where you've really worked with models, where you've really kind of got a connection with them, and how you're using your lighting technique to either enhance or hide or do something with the model's features or her personality or something like that. Here it's just another shot of a nice looking girl with a bit of a duff background, and I really am not a fan of the blanket. But again, if that's what you like, that's what you like. Okay, this next one is Faith. Okay, oh right, okay, I see where you're going here. This is definitely the kind of like the shopping centre photography look that you're going for here. Oh, what? Is that an earring in the child? I thought you have to be like 16 before you're allowed to get your ears pierced. Oh no, that's a tattoo. Anyway. Okay. Okay, this one, because you're staying with the colour here, there's a whole wild like explosion of colours going on here, and this child looks purple. So again, that's why a lot of portraits are black and white. That's why a lot of weddings are black and white, because people's skin imperfections, where their imperfections are in their colour, like if you've got a spot or a red rash or something like that, it's much easier if you go black and white. You don't need to worry about it at all, because usually there's a colour, not a tonal change. Here with this child, it looks kind of purple here, pink there. At no point does there actually look like a normal skin color tone on this. Of course, babies are just covered in food and goo, so you never actually really know what their skin color tone is. And I'm totally distracted by that earring. That's all I'm staring at. Okay, so but yeah, otherwise the lighting on a baby shot absolutely fine. I would probably go black and white on it, and I would like a little bit more harsher shadows and just make it a bit more creative. But again, I can easily see a mother. Oh wait, what have you said here? My granddaughter. Oh, this is your granddaughter. Ah, right. This was shot at the same light as Courtney. I can see that. I wanted to capture face, eyes, not her earring, and a pose that is not tacky. Okay. In hindsight, maybe I should have done this shot in portrait as opposed to landscape. I don't think there's really kind of a rule about portrait or landscape, whether you're doing baby shots, and you know, that portrait or landscape stuff for whether it's a portrait or it's landscape, that's just bullshit. That's just one of those rules of photography which everyone can ignore straight away. Yeah, I really can't stop looking at that earring. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Right, okay. Yeah, go black and white. Maybe it's fine. It's fine as it is, really. There. Okay, this next one, Sheffield. Cool, yeah, it looks like you use a very small apertures to get that massive star effect from all that kind of stuff going on there. What have you said here? Sheffield, working away gave me the opportunity to take a few shots of the town CNT of Sheffield. CNT. Part of the Hope Gardens, a long exposure and a small aperture to aid depth of field and the star effect of the lights. Shot at f/18 and at a 28mm for 17 seconds. Yeah, it's just a cool effect with the lights, but it's just a bit of a dull shot, really. It's a night shot. It's great how you've gone for this kind of long exposure stuff and you're not seeing there, but to me it just looks like, I don't know whether it's really the location, but do you know what I think you could have really worked with is the reflection in these balls. Like, looking at those, they look like they could be so cool for a photo. You know, take a photo looking straight into that with all the light behind you kind of stuff, and then just Photoshop yourself out of it. That might have been interesting. But instead, all we've got is this kind of like slightly wet, slightly dirty kind of walkway with a kind of a bit of loads of disco lights going in the background, but doesn't really show me that it's a Hope Garden or anything like that. It just looks a bit odd. But I reckon there's definitely something with the reflections of the water in those balls. I would say get closer to them. But yeah, that's really all for that one. Last one is a buttercup. Let's see this one. It's called Buttercup, and it's a picture from the side of a buttercup. Lying in the grass, I managed to capture this shot from a worm's eye view. I don't think that is a worm's eye view. A worm would be below it. You're at a lying in the ground eyes view. I just like the colour and light in the shot. Nothing more than just a moment in time. Okay, great. Colours, yeah. Exposure, yeah. But creativity and showing your technical skills as a photographer or as almost semi-pro photographer. Compositionally wise, it's right in the middle, which can be fine, but in this case it doesn't work for it. It's low down, we're just seeing the side of it, we're not really seeing the top or any kind of details of the buttercup. We've also got really distracting buttercups on the side, like a way up here, and a really bright thing down there. The vignette is also, or no, not the vignette, the bokeh is just really slightly distracting me. It's a bit weird, but I'm sure we could get better shots of a buttercup. I'm thinking like straight down. I'm thinking with one with a black background, with a totally white background, with a bug in it or something like that. Did you say what you use it with? Yeah, use it with the macro. Get close, get into it. Let's see the bug that's running around inside the buttercup or something. Or if you are doing it from a worm's eye view, get from underneath it and shoot up. I don't know how you would do that. You'd have to have a very small camera. Yeah. Okay, so So, John, what I would say is your photos are fine. But if you are trying to become a semi-pro photographer, and if all you want to do is photos inside malls, what you've sent me is absolutely fine. If I was a mall photographer, not mall, that's so American. If I was a shopping center photographer and I needed an assistant, and you sent me your stuff, I would go, absolutely fine. I would employ you straight away. But if I was a band, actor, something, I look at your stuff and just go, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's nothing really striking my attention, nothing that's really blowing me away, nothing that's really kind of giving me the idea of great connection with the photographer, with the model, or anything like that. So I would say hold off becoming semi-pro. What the hell does semi-pro mean? No, semi-pro. That means nothing to me. In fact, I'm going to do a video on what the hell semi-pro is. And yeah, work. Give me some more creativity. That's all.